So this is fitting and removal of a universal sling in a seated position. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my person to lean forward in the chair, so it gives me the access behind him to drop the sling in. So what I'll do is I'm just going to place the top of the sling just on his back and secure with one hand. And then I'm going to get the bottom seam of the sling. I'm going to put one hand on top of it, and I'm just going to push it down and underneath his bottom. Once that's in position and the leg pieces have been brought round also, I can then ask the person to lean back into the chair. That then secures the sling in place. And then I'm going to move on to the leg pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift his leg up onto my thigh. This generates the access underneath his thigh for me to bring the leg piece down. It also reduces the risk of any potential shear or friction force while fitting the sling. So to do this, I'm going to bring my hand underneath, flat hand underneath his leg, and I'm just going to bring the bottom of the sling through. Okay, there we go. Once that's fitted, I'm just going to lower his leg and do the same on this side. If the person can also reach across the chair and just bring themselves slightly over, this also generates more access for the side of the sling to be brought underneath and around the hip. So if they can do that, it does help. So again, flat hand under. I'm just going to bring the sling down and through. So then we've got the divided leg part of the sling ready to be joined up. So again, the loop through the middle. The outside strap goes through that one. And again, same on the side. So then it generates the divided leg. Once I've fitted the lower part of the sling, I'm just going to check the top of the sling to make sure while it's in the lower part that it's not being displaced. Okay? And make sure that the label on the back of the sling is in the center of the back. Okay? So there. Right then. Your service user is then ready to be transferred using your hoist. The loops will be predetermined by the assessor or the prescriber. Okay, so what I'm going to move on to now is just removing the sling. So I'm going to start with the lower part of the sling. I'm going to unloop. There we go. And I'm just going to take one piece out at a time. Again, I'm going to lift his leg to generate that access, reduce shear friction forces on the person's body. One flat hand gives a bit of a barrier between him, and it can just come through, be pulled up. On this design of sling also, it does have a low friction material that creates it makes it easier to fit and remove also. Okay, so I'm just going to push that up the back, and then I'm going to lift his leg up, and the same on this leg. I'm just going to bring it through, nice and steady. Leg back down. Once the lower part has been removed, I can then move back and leaning forward in the chair, and I can just bring the sling out. So that is fitting and removal of a universal sling in a seated position.